How's it going, everybody? This is your Astrology Horoscope for January 18th, 2024. I'm astrologer Alex Skyles, and welcome to the Moon Base. Hope you guys are having a great week. It's Thursday. The moon's in Taurus. This is the last day before the Sun and Pluto conjunct and move into Aquarius for a once-in-a-lifetime show and experience and transit that we've never seen in our lives, and we will never feel or see again. This is a massive portal and transition that we're walking into, a massive clearing of the past 14, 15 years of this Pluto and Capricorn transit. And definitely the past couple weeks, we've just felt this buildup, and there's been a lot of positive influence from Mars and Jupiter and Mercury and Saturn. And there's also been some really wild, crazy, out of nowhere, confusing, unclear things with Mercury square Neptune, and now Venus is starting to square Neptune. That is really activating that Mercury square Neptune that we just went through. That happened 3 times. So it really isn't over. Now we're experiencing the result of that, and it really comes down to our relationships, of what that Mercury square Neptune was really trying to say. And the message that was trying to come through is a lot of this confusion and distortion, how Neptune, how Venus, how any planet square Neptune like causes this certain kind of distortion in our physical reality, and kind of distorts the bridge between the physical world and the non-physical. So it's starting to happen now as we go into this massive transition of Sun Pluto going into Aquarius. So starting off the day is very positive. I mean, there's this moon in Taurus making this conjunction to Jupiter, trining over to Mercury, and it will trine Mars later on, and then also sextiling Saturn. Mercury's still sextiling Saturn, and Mars is still in play here. He's still in the game. He's still in bounds. But actually, Mars is out of bounds. So, there's definitely, we're trailblazing a new path. We're climbing a new mountain. We've climbed many, many mountains over the past 15 years. We've seen so many things in our personal lives when it comes to the structure of our personal lives, especially when it comes to family and, the larger structure of our family and the relationship and the polarity of those kinds of situations that are related to the structure of any area of our life that has to do with our family and that's connected to the institutions. I mean, we've seen a massive shift over the past year, and we felt it really over the past week of wow, we're really starting to blaze into whole new territory, and Mars out of bounds. Still, it's gonna feel like we've never been to this place before, ever. But also, we've been working so diligently through all the chaos and maintaining a steady path in this moon in Taurus. I think the past couple of weeks with this buildup, it has been this constant anticipation and anticipation, things coming out, new information coming out, and crazy shit happening, and lots of confusion. It's there's still been this very positive, slow momentum that has been building here. And I think with the moon activating Jupiter and sextiling Saturn and trining over to Mercury, it's we're able to really have a very positive sensation about what we're about to walk through. As long as we've really been willing to take the risk, blaze new territory with Mars and Capricorn out of bounds, and be ready for that. This is definitely not a time to be fixed in the way things used to be, and staying in your old ways Uranus is about to go direct right after this Sun square Pluto, a week after, or this Sun Pluto conjunction, a week after, just 6 days after, on the 26th, 27th, Uranus is going direct. So, Uranus is dispositing Pluto. So, yeah, it's going to happen here on Friday and Saturday. But when Uranus goes direct a week later, it's like, bam, all the wild stuff and all of this crazy, new, exciting territory that we are moving into is really going to start moving very fast. And things are going to pick up the pace very quickly. And also in such a very positive way, too. If you've been willing to do the work and take the risk and blaze new territory. This is definitely a time where there can be payoffs and payouts and rewards, Saturn rewards, and, Capricorn being the ruling sign of Saturn. It's like this is a time where we can experience the culmination of a lot of long-term things that have been laid out here and that we've been really working towards and growing and harvest, and nurturing and really being patient. If you've been patient and you've worked hard and you have been willing to take a risk, there is going to be some sort of payout. The ones who are not ready to step into this sort of alien territory with Pluto and Aquarius and the Sun, and it's going to be very, very hard to break free from, your own mindset. Like this is a moment that we're stepping into that we have to be willing to shake things up and accept how things are being shaken up and not resist. Uranus wants to really try new things and push boundaries and go beyond the physical. And this is also a moment of this can feel like a tower moment, in a sense of like, this has been a long time coming. Like things that are starting to fall, the things that do fall in our lives, it's been a long time coming, and we knew it was going to be that way. And this is what is opening the doors to really revolutionize how we move into the future. And with this Mercury, or with Venus starting to square Neptune, we don't want to be getting lost into our own victim self, and issues with our self-worth and, questioning our values. It's like with this moon in Taurus conjuncting Jupiter and making all these positive aspects to Mercury and Mars and Saturn, it's like, if you start overthinking with this Venus square Neptune and losing your ground and losing your physical nature and letting the subconscious stuff take over, it's going to really put a damper on this manifestation energy that's coming in here, and this very powerful, positive, grounded, but spiritual energy that, Saturn and Jupiter and the moon and Mars and Mercury are really bringing in here. And the demon to fight, so to say, is this Venus square Neptune, where it's really easy to fall into these victim states and, feel out of sorts, especially in our relationships. We don't want to be, as much positive energy that's coming in, like we don't want to be falling into new things. And, I'm just going to go start something new, and, I'm just going to leave this behind, even though it's valuable, and start something new because I got this whole new idea and this whole new vision. It's like we have to stick to the things that we've been working on and the people we've been with and working with, and whether you're in love. I mean, we don't want to be just like off the whim, just making really rash decisions. The things that have taken time, you've gone through this Pluto cycle with, of these ups and downs and breakdowns and rebuilding. It's like, those are the things we want to stick with. We don't want to be trying to blaze, off into freaking Pisces land and just, I'm going to go to Bali and just, chill. That's not, that's, if you're going there, you're going to get caught up in the illusion, right? We want to stay grounded as possible through this. And we are having a lot of support to really stay grounded and stay focused. But there is this kind of demon on our shoulder where it's like, hey, you want to try some drugs? With this Venus square Neptune, it's like, hey, you want to get fucked up? Then you want to go have some drinks and go to the bar? And it's like, no, like, I'm working on myself right now. I'm working hard. I'm taking care of the responsibility. I'm doing the things I need to do. I'm too busy for that kind of shit, manifesting my own vision, and allowing this new territory to reveal itself wherever we're going. I mean, the sun Pluto is going to reveal some wild stuff. We're about to move into the craziest shit we've ever experienced, and before this is happening, it's like we don't want to lose control with this Venus square Neptune and just, leave behind things that were already solid and existing, But there is this kind of lure of desire that isn't necessarily true, but it's definitely challenging our beliefs and our values, and our philosophies and how we feel about things, Like there's so much fated, destined energy coming in here. Like a lot of this, positive energy between the moon and Mars and Mercury, and Saturn and Sun, Pluto and Capricorn. Like this is all destined. This is all what seems to be fated. And those moments that seem fated, that really come to the surface here, with Pluto really brings things to the surface. What seems to be fated and destined here is seeds that have been planted over a long period of time after climbing many mountains. And people are going to be rewarded at this moment, and people are going to really see where they've fallen short at the same time with this Venus square Neptune and Saturn and Pisces. And maybe both. Maybe wonderful manifestations can come into your life with all this positive earth energy. But at the same time, it's like some weird, crazy shit where you really weren't paying attention and you got sucked into things that weren't necessarily valuable, but were just fun in the moment. Can bite you in the ass. So, I mean, it's all happening at once. And maybe this is really the message here, is that like a lot of karmic stuff that's starting to play out is really giving us what we need to move into this uncharted territory. This is totally uncharted. Yeah, I mean, every 245, 50 years, Pluto comes back into Aquarius, but not like this. Not at the very last moment of 2959 Capricorn, and then Sun Pluto moving into Aquarius. Like, like we've seen it before, but not at the very last degree, at the very last geometrical minute. We've never seen it. This is totally new. We've already felt the buildup of that. We've seen so many weird, crazy things just come out of nowhere, and that's just the precursor. Like now the show is starting. We've been in the previews. The movie is starting to play of this new movie. The old show is done with. This is a time where we want to be making adjustments really fast. Like we're not going to get this moment again. So today is a day where we want to take this positive energy with the moon and Jupiter, Mercury, Mars, Saturn and Pisces. I mean, we're not going to get this again. So today, don't get lost in the chaos. Don't get lost in Pisces land. Stay grounded, stay true, and take the positive energy that is there today, and utilize it to make adjustments, make corrections, and be objective and be vulnerable and raise your awareness, raise your consciousness, do things that are going to help you make better decisions, not things where you're going to escape reality with this Venus square Neptune. Because even when the Sun and Pluto do move into Aquarius, we're still dealing with Mercury and Mars in Capricorn, and then they're going to come and hit 29 degrees. And then it's going to really highlight this Pluto conjunction here in the next few weeks. So we want to be making big adjustments and big corrections today. You know, a lot of things are going to be revealed. Things that could be uncomfortable with this Venus square Neptune. Like, I mean, Venus square Neptune can be very uncomfortable. It can bring up a lot of self-worth issues. And, you know, you look in the mirror and you don't see yourself for who you truly are. The Venus square Neptune can really create a distortion of your reality. You know, I've done readings, quite a few readings actually, with people who have Venus square Neptune in their chart, and there's always something associated with people and their self-worth that brings up. I've seen eating disorders. I hate to say that, but like that's been one common theme that I have seen with Venus square Neptune is people with eating disorders. You know, and not seeing themselves for who they really are and valuing their true selves. And so it can lead us into these places where we're being completely misled in ourselves, really, mostly, you know, because Neptune is a mirror. It reflects back to you. You know, it's the TV screen. It's an image. And Venus is our values and our worth and our, you know, our beauty. And shit can get really confusing. You know, things that are beautiful are seeming a little odd, or we're questioning them. And I think with this transit, it's like we want to stay in a place where if we're questioning things that we felt a certain way before about, now we're feeling different, I would let that energy pass through, because it's probably not true at this moment. And this Venus square Neptune is also bringing up the Mercury square Neptune. Like, there's a lot of communication about these things that have been confusing, or definitely through December, coming into January. It happened 3 times. So there are a lot of confusing thoughts about these issues with this Sagittarius planet square Neptune. The Sun squared Neptune with Mercury. I mean, this is the last swing of that energy. And we don't want to fall into the weirdness and the craziness, because there's so much powerful manifesting energy towards our destiny that is fated, and our purpose that's connected to our purpose, our higher purpose. That's what Capricorn really is about, is our destiny and our divine purpose that is connected to the divine. You know, the bridge from the physical world to the non-physical. That's where Saturn exists. So yeah, it's going to be hard to not fall into that. So any moment that those kinds of things pop into your head, find a way to combat that and push it aside and remind yourself, hey, you know, this is temporary, and coming into the weekend after, we're gonna feel some of the most powerful energy we felt in our entire lives. So we're going to see things we've never seen over the next couple weeks when we do move into this. So we got to be ready for that. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be weird. It's going to be fucking radical. So we can always expect that with any planets in Aquarius and Uranus coming direct, dispositing Pluto. So it's going to get wild. So today is a very powerful day. I mean, these next weeks are just so massive energetically. The buildup has been so intense and beautiful at the same time, especially with North Node Chiron. Like, yeah, sure, there's definitely some wounds that need to be taken care of and a lot of healing that needs to take place. But at the same time, it's like there is an opportunity for healing collectively and definitely as individuals. That's what Aries is all about. It's ourself and our ego, healing our ego, becoming more intact with our ego. I think that's really, to me, what I've noticed about this Chiron Aries transit since 2018 is people losing touch with their true selves and their egos. We need that. You need that confidence. And also with this Chiron in Aries and the North Node as well, we're going to come into in February. It's like discerning what is ego and what is arrogance and what is confidence, and how that relationship ties together. Those three words, I think, are very important to think about with Chiron and Aries. So, yeah, don't fall into the weirdness today. Stay grounded with this powerful, positive moon in Taurus, Jupiter, Mercury, Mars in Capricorn, Saturn in Pisces, all making wonderful aspects, as we move into this big portal with the Sun and Pluto. So I'm going to end it there because we can keep going on for days and get way ahead of ourselves. But yeah, I'll see you all on Friday, and get ready. Peace out.